Hey, what's up guys, Turtlelags here, bringing you another Lord of Dice Global video. Today is a very special video for a number of reasons. First, I did receive my new microphone in the mail, so my voice should pick up 10 times better than my previous video. Thank you to that one or two commenters who made a note or gave me some advice with regards to what equipment I should acquire in improving the quality of my video. So thank you for contributing to this. I also want to give a shout out to two of my YouTube friends as well as in-game friends. One is Hope Quasar, who's been uploading Lord of Dice Global videos a few weeks before I started, and he uploads fairly frequently, and he always goes over, new content and even speculates on future content. So do check out his channel. Another YouTuber I want to give a shout out to is Razor Gaming. Now I know he's just started, but he deserves a lot more subscribers than what he currently has. I would say that both of his videos that he's uploaded up until this point have been extremely informative. They're more catered towards the people who have been playing this game for a long time and want to take it to the next level. So I would check him out as well. Alright, and I also want to thank you guys, the viewers, personally for taking time out of your day to subscribe, to like, to view, and to comment my videos each and every day. I greatly appreciate it. I think I've been working on my YouTube channel for about 2 weeks now, give or take, and I've been very active, been absolutely enjoying uploading new content, new guides, footage of my, let's play of games and everything with this Lord of Dice Global game. So, yeah, thank you. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to my channel. I promise to, upload high quality videos that serve not just to, inform you, but to also kind of expand your knowledge of, what you can do with this game. I know this game has not been out for too long. I think it's been about a month and a half at this point, but I foresee that this game will become real popular in the future. So if you guys haven't checked out this game, do check it out. I think that you'll have a lot of fun with this. Alright, so now on to my preparation for this video. Basically, in this video, I will be going over a number of topics. First, I'll go over what are runes, then, which 5 runes that each master can hold, how to unlock rune slots, how to level up and upgrade runes. I'm going to go over the abilities and the Korean tier list for all 18 types of runes, guys. All 18. Now, it took me roughly 3 weeks to compile the exact words from every single rune in this Lord of Dice Global game. So the abilities that I'll be going over with you are not a translation of the Korean tier list. It's actually text taken straight out of this game. So this should be pretty accurate. And I want to thank everyone who helped me contribute and compile all of these special abilities. I think by yesterday I still had maybe like 5 types of runes I missed, but thanks to Razor Gaming, he took screenshots of the remaining runes that I was missing to finally complete my PowerPoint. I will also be going over where to farm runes, not just an infinity tower, but other methods of acquiring runes continuously. And then I'm going to go over the cost of upgrading runes, and I suggest that before you check out that section of the video, do have a cardiologist ready, because man, it's pretty nuts how expensive upgrading a rune from like 1 star to 5 star can get. It's pretty insane. Finally, just for a little fun, I'm going to go over the rune packages. Are they worth the money? And I have actually purchased some rune packages, and I'll tell you from my experience whether or not I felt it was worth the money I put in. Alright, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So what are runes, guys? And here I have a visual of the 5 different levels of runes, going from 1 star all the way to 5 star. These are equipable items that can boost your attack, defense, and HP in battle. Now each rune carries special abilities depending on the Roman numeral that it has, and I'll actually show you my runes just to better illustrate this. So let's go to runes here, rune list. Okay, so here's like a 5-star rune. So it has the Roman numeral 4, and this one has Roman numeral 1, 4, 1, 3, 2, etc., etc. Now, I had a lot more runes than this, but I sacrificed a ton of runes just to compile the complete library of abilities that I will be going over with you in this video. You'll probably notice that these runes have different shapes. Kind of like with the dicers here, you got the D4 runes, you've got the D6 runes, D6 runes. Is that D? Yeah. So this is D4 rune, D6 rune, D10 rune. And I will go over that in more detail in a moment. But just to clarify, only 3 stars or higher runes carry special abilities. So as you can see, with my 2-star runes, yes, it'll have its basic ability, but no special abilities. Whereas if you look at the 3-star runes, it has a special ability. 4-star runes, special ability. 5-star runes has special ability. Alright, and each master can equip up to 5 runes at a time, as you can see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 4 I've already unlocked, and this one's gated by my master's level, and I'll go over that later as well. Now, leveling up runes occurs by consuming other runes at 25%, 50%, or 100% chance, depending on the rank comparison. And what I mean by that is, if, say, for instance, I wanted to upgrade my 1-star rune to a 2-star rune, all I would need to do is consume one other 1-star rune to have a 100% chance of leveling it up once. And the 1-star runes have a max level of 3. Once it hits max level, you can take this rune and combine it with another rune of a similar, basically has to be like the same shape. So if it's a D4 rune that you want to synthesize, basically rank up from 1 to 2 or 2 to 3, then you would need to consume a similar maxed out rune that is also a D4. Alright, so on to the rune slots for each master. Currently in the Lord of Dice global game, we have 5 masters. We have Arthur, Armeria, Philip, Clara, and Yuri. Down the road, we will also get Raven as well. I think in Lord of Dice Japan, they acquired Raven about 6 months in. I was checking out their Twitter feed the other day. But I think that so far, up until this point, Lord of Dice Global, we've been having our events at twice the speed of Lord of Dice Japan and Korea. So, in a way, it's good and bad. It's good in that we get to catch up in content with the other 2 countries, but the bad part is, of course, that for free-to-play players it's going to be tough, if not impossible, to basically maximize each event before it expires in 2 weeks. But anyway, so as you can see here, for Arthur, Armeria, and Philip, they each have a D4, D6, and D10 slot, along with a second of one of the 3 runes that I specified. And then Clara, she's 2 D6s, 2 D10 slots, and then that's Clara. And then Yuri, excuse me, has 2 D4 slots and 2 D10 slots. You'll notice that this 5th slot right here is all, and that means that this slot, for instance, is reserved for D4, this slot's reserved for D6, this slot is reserved for D10, but in this slot, which you unlock with 1,500 gems, not that expensive, guys, you can farm for that in 3 days, this slot right here, you can put any kind of die in there. We call it a multi-dice. Yeah, D multi-rune slot. Yeah, now how do you unlock these slots? Well, I think that's on the next slide here. So in the beginning, you will have one slot open, and then when you upgrade your master via these items here or with gems, guys, upgrade with this. If you upgrade your master to level 5, you unlock a second slot. To 10, you got a third slot. And it's this fourth slot here where you have to upgrade your master all the way to level 15, like I have with Clara. Yeah, she's max level, so man, this took a while. Yeah, you get access to all 5 slots. Alright, so I already briefly mentioned about this, how to level up and upgrade runes. This actually isn't a very good visual because, or actually it's okay. So you can consume runes of any shape that you like, but when it comes to upgrading your runes via the synthesize button, which, let me find it for you guys. Yeah, via the synthesize button here, which will only appear for you if you've maxed out your rune, kind of like here. For synthesis, you need to basically, if you hit synthesize here, unlock before proceeding. Oh, okay. Here, let me just unlock this for you guys just to illustrate. Okay. So you have a base rune and a material rune. The base rune will be whatever you selected. So in this case, I selected this one, right? So this will be my base rune. So whichever rune that you fuse with, I believe the Roman numeral number that's on here and here, this will retain the Roman numeral, and this one will be completely consumed. I haven't tested it out enough yet to see if it's consistent, but that is what I believe. For those of you who've, sacrificed a ton of runes and find that what I'm saying is incorrect, please clarify in the comments below, but I think that's how it works. The material rune is the one that's consumed. The base rune is the one that upgrades to the next star level. All right, so let's get to the exciting stuff. So I'm going to basically go over all the 4-sided runes first, then all the 6-sided runes, and then all the 10-sided runes. And so in combination, because there are Roman numerals 1 through 6, each carrying their unique abilities, you can have a combination of 18 different runes to choose from. And that can be very overwhelming, and for those of you, especially the ones who are starting this game for the first time, you're going to have no idea like which runes are even possible, like all the different abilities that are possible. So this guide is meant to assist you in just opening your eyes to all the different possible special abilities out there and kind of, cherry picking the ones that you want to best suit your team. Alright, so 4-sided runes. So up here I do have a visual. I basically took it straight from the Korean website, which I have the link here. But guys, you can find this from Lord of Dice Global Reddit page. So anyways, heading back over here. So the way this works is that they rank the runes based on 4 different categories. One is in like Infinity Tower, and then there's the Arena one. Arena grade, I believe this is breakthrough grade, and then this is raid grade. For me personally, the 2 that I pay most attention to are PvP and raid grade, but there are some runes that are excellent for the other 2, so much so that, for instance, if you want to acquire the Fortify Bean and you want to give yourself a greater edge in acquiring it, some of these runes will actually help you with that. Or in this case, for instance, with the 4-sided rune number 1, Roman numeral 1, this grants you experience. So, what you could do actually is, you've got 5 masters. Let me go to the masters here. Oops. Yeah, you've got 5 masters here, and unfortunately, whatever runes are in here, equipped by a master, you can't share the same runes between masters. So what you could do is, select one master to use for like raids and PvP, and then you can have another master used for, say, breakthroughs, and then another one for like grinding for EXP or gold. Yeah, and that'll become more clear as I go over all the abilities. Alright, so for the four-sided rune 1, its special ability is to increase your experience earned by 10%, 15%, or 20%, depending on the number of stars on that rune. So, this would be pretty much limited to Infinity Tower, just because in PvP you don't care about how much experience you're gaining, because you've probably maxed out the EXP of all your dicers. Alright, so moving on to the next rune here, four-sided rune 2. As you can see here, four-sided rune 2 is extremely useful in pretty much all content across the board. Infinity Tower, arena mode, breakthrough, and raids, and guild adventures, etc. What it does is it increases melee and piercer attack by 3%, 5%, or 7% in total. So here, let's do some calculation here. If, say, like the average limit broken Nat 5 had, say, like an attack of 2,500, or actually, let's go with this, and you increase it by 1.07, so, using a max level rune, that dicer would deal an extra 157.5 damage. That can be the difference between knocking out your opponent or not. So if you imagine if you stacked like a couple of these, if you were devoted to be like, okay, I want to make sure whatever I use my melee on, I'm going to knock out that guy, or deal like so much damage they're going to be like, whoa, then equipping rune 2 seemed to be the way to go. And some of these runes will have a certain pattern to it, depending on what the Roman numeral is, and that'll become clear in a moment. Alright, so four-sided rune 3s are excellent in Arena and Infinity Tower. What does it do? It recovers 3% HP when using a D4 charged card. I think it's referring to Dicer, but this is literally the text taken straight out of the rune, and I can prove it to you. Actually, while generating or synthesizing runes to compile the complete list, I was missing this rune, guys, and I asked like 4 people if they had this rune, and they didn't. I almost gave up, but I lucked out and got it. So yeah, recovers 3% HP when using D4 charged card. That's literally what it says. I'm assuming that card is referring to Dicer here. I mean, what else could it be, right? So yeah, and unlike the other runes, this is the only rune that recovers HP from a charged Dicer, and it's D4. And I think this is such a great addition to this game. Because a lot of people are finding out now that statistically, if you were to do a dice battle between a D4 double dicer, a D6 double dicer, and a D10 single dicer, the D4 double dicer on average would roll the lowest number. And as more and more people are realizing this, I think that the game has the potential to be in a state where like a third of the dicers are ignored, not because they don't have great abilities, but because they are D4 dicer. Like for instance, all 3 of the new dicers that were released in the latest Site patch, they are all D4 dicers. And initially I was thinking, oh, I'm not going to get any of them because they're D4s and they won't help me in dice battles. But now that I find out that there's this kind of rune that exists, that gives me an incentive to use my D4 dicers in battle without feeling like, oh, I'm putting myself at a disadvantage. Because healing 7% HP, okay, let's calculate this. So if, say, like for me right now I have about 18,000 HP, if I was to recover 7%, yeah, then I heal 1,260 HP. Is that right? Let me do that again. Yeah, that's right. That's a lot of HP, guys. And if you do it like twice, I mean, that's like using a potion without needing to land on one. So this could be handy. Alright, so now on to the 4-sided Rune 4. Recovers 3%, 5%, 7% HP when using chain attack. Now I personally have this rune. I think it's this one right here. Oh no, I think I'm equipped with it right now. I feel like this rune can be pretty good if you set up the right team. Now chain attack is referring to these dicers here. Let me show you. Pretty much all the nat 5s that you can acquire via Descent Dungeon have this chain attack ability. Let me see. Yeah, like Ordina, for instance. If we go to her skill info, chain attack, yeah. So basically, if you have a team with 2 or more chain attackers, this rune could give you lots of value. I actually had one battle where I think I was PvPing against someone for like 15 turns, something insane like that, and I think I activated this ability like 4 times. So I healed like 28% of my HP over the course of 15 turns. It was really nice. So if you assemble your team well, this could actually be pretty useful. Alright, so now we're moving on to the 4-sided D5 runes. Increases the move of D4 dicer by 1. And now I have, it doesn't matter if it's 3 stars, 4 stars, 5 stars, this ability will not change. So you may have seen on Reddit, you know, some people saying, oh, for some reason my special ability didn't change. Well, all the rune 5s, whether it's 4-sided, 6-sided, or 10-sided, Roman numeral number 5, this rune does not change regardless of how many times you upgrade it. So when you upgrade it, you're upgrading it purely on the stats given by the whether it's an attack, defense, or HP. But yeah, so I personally don't have this rune. I had to, you know, borrow from a screenshot of one of my YouTube friends. So I haven't tested this. I'm assuming that for a D4 dicer, if say you have like a 3 move D4 dicer, but you really wanted a 4, then you could equip this rune and that would fix your problem. I'm assuming that's what that means. I'm just kind of curious though, if you have a 6 move D4 dicer, does it become 7 moves? I don't know. If any of you have actually playtested with this rune and can let me know in the comments below, that would be awesome. Alright, and finally we have the 4-sided Rune 6, which increases the use of D4 dicer by 1. Now I actually have a variation of this this rune here. Let me show it to you. Oh no, I think Clara is equipped with it. It's actually a very good rune, guys. Maybe not necessarily in PvP or arena. Arena PvP or raid, but any other situation, like if you're in Breakthrough, for instance, or if you're in Descent Dungeon, man, having that 1 extra use for the D4 dicer is awesome. If you don't know or understand what I mean, check out my Fortify bean farming video. Now, unfortunately, I unsuccessfully farmed for that bean, but I think that if I didn't have this rune equipped, I would have fallen short even more. Guys, you know how like with Breakthrough or, you know, that sort of thing, you start out with like 3 moves, you know, and if you have a limit broken dicer, you have 4 moves. Well, this rune, if you have it equipped, it'll bring that number up even higher. So actually with Descent Dungeon, for instance, where you know, you start with 3 uses out of each dicer, assuming you don't limit break or have this rune equipped. You start out as 3, but I had some dicers that had uses of 5 because I had this equipped, so it's really quite nice. You know, being able to use my sickle 5 times in a Descent Dungeon run, that's pretty sweet. Alright, but unfortunately it's only useful for those situations. Alright, so now moving on to the 6-sided runes. You increase gold by up to 20%. So once again, you know, having a master devoted for farming, you know, then this will be pretty handy. Alright, 6-sided Rune 2s. Increase magic sniper attack by 3%, 5%, 7%. Very useful. Alright, 6-sided rune 3s makes you immune to debuffs at 5, 7, 10%. I initially didn't feel like this ability was that useful, but now that I've used it a bunch of times... Wait, no, not this one. Yeah, now that I've used it a couple times, I realize now that actually, certain debuffs are not just limited to poison or burn. You can also be like immobilized with bind, and having this, or say like you step on that ice thing, snowflake thing that makes both you and your opponent, can only move one turn at a time, but somehow this activated, all of a sudden you made the opponent can only move once, but you can move freely wherever you want. Very advantageous. That happened in a match one time for me. Alright, so moving on. Rune 4 poisons the enemy for 3 turns at up to 10% chance. I don't know how I feel about this. I think it's not bad. The residual damage is nice, but I don't think I've actually won because of this ability. So as soon as I get a better rune, I'm probably going to replace this. Alright, so 6-sided rune 5s increases the move of d6 dicers by 1. So once again, and now I think this might be trickier to use just because I think most people, especially the pro players, are going to stuff their teams with mostly d6 dicers. So, curving out may be a little tricky, because if you equip this rune, I'm assuming it applies to all your d6 dicers, not just the one you want. But still, it's pretty handy. Alright, 6-sided rune 6s increases the use of d6 dicer by 1, so once again, very helpful with breakthrough and any sort of situation where you have limited uses of each dicer. Alright, so finally moving on to the 10-sided runes. Rune 1 increases the score by up to 7%. I have this. I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like the strategy is more important than what this special ability can contribute. But who knows? Like, if, say, you need to get 50k for the Fortify Being in Descent Dungeon, then what is that? That's an extra 3,500 points you didn't have to earn. So, I don't know. It may be worthwhile if you stack a couple. Who knows? But I feel like if you're going to do that, you might as well increase your usage. I feel like you'd get more mileage out of these than this. Alright, so 10-sided rune 2s. All the rune 2s, guys, is insane. I think that out of all the rune 2s, this is the most useful, just because in raid, imagine like, you're bombering the raid boss or for like 5-6 tiles worth of damage, and stacking this percentage along with that, the damage can really pile up. And bombers and whirlwinds, especially bombers, they have the ability to hit so many of the boss's tiles at once. So I think this is very useful, guys. If you by the end of this PowerPoint are like, gosh, I'm not going to remember all this, if you see a number 2 rune, keep it. Alright, 10-sided rune 3s. So this one is actually the best rune 3 out of all of them. Increases the charge attack by 10%. Yeah, guys, that's additional damage your dicers can do. And it's not just one dicer, it's all your dicers. Whichever charge dicer you throw at the enemy, that damage can stack. So I can understand why a 10-sided rune 3 would be extremely good. I personally don't own one, but if you do, guys, keep it. Alright, 10-sided rune 4s increases the score earned by 10%. So once again, breakthrough, raids, very useful. Alright, 10-sided rune 5s increases the move of D10, so no surprise there. Increases the use of D10, no surprise there. Alright, so now going over how to farm runes. Now there's 3 different kinds of runes you can acquire. You can acquire the D4, the D6, or the D10. Now I have a small table here that kind of illustrates where I see us farming most of our runes from. In hard mode in Infinity Tower, here, let me show this to you. Yeah, so if you click here, that sends you to hard mode. Starting from floor 5, so 5-1 you can say. Starting from 5-1 all the way to 9-4. All the way to 9-4. You can farm for a 1-star rune. Now, from my personal experience farming these runes, I would say I acquire one 1-star rune for every 100 keys I consume. So, you know, if you think about it with the advertisement, the key advertisement here, if you were to, you know, get 250 keys from that, that'll get you like 2.5 runes. Okay, and then from 9-5 onwards, and I put a question mark there just because I haven't beaten all the floors yet. I still have to beat 14, 15, and 16, but up until the 13th floor at least, it seems to me you can get 2-star runes. So here, let me just show you. So 9-5, so this is the lowest floor you can farm D2 runes, or I'm sorry, 2-star runes at. So a lot of people on Reddit, they say, you know, if you want to auto farm, like replay farm these runes, then you want to do it on this floor right here. And guys, to have the replay feature unlocked, you have to have a perfect clear 4 stars for this particular section of the floor. Additionally, there's also raid coin shops. Now guys, if I had known about runes like a month ago, I would have already started on this, but so nowadays, you know, I pretty much never miss a raid battle. I always make sure that I have less than 3 tickets. That way I'm not wasting any time for another potential raid run. Now, I've already bought a couple of these already, but this right here, for 500 raid coins, you can unlock a guaranteed 3-star rune. Guys, every time a week resets, I highly recommend that you buy this first before you buy anything else, aside from, of course, the 6-star Awakening Jelly Shard. And the reason for that is because for the other packages that are out there, or tickets rather, summon tickets, you can get anywhere between 2 to 4 stars. Up until this point, I've never gotten a 4-star rune from here. Usually I get 2s with the occasional 3s. So yeah, I would say the 500 raid coin one for the guaranteed 3-star you should always do before everything else. And then, you know, based on the PowerPoint that you have in front of you in this video, you can determine, okay, do I want to, you know, gamble for a, you know, D4 rune, a D6 rune, or a D10 rune? Yeah. So, and then Breakthrough, I think, is one of the best, most convenient renewable sources of runes. Now there is a bit of luck involved with Breakthrough. I would say with Breakthrough I've gotten anywhere between like 0 to 3 runes per floor, and you know, like every time it resets you can fly through these, so it's quite nice. So yeah, Breakthrough I would say is probably the easiest way, the fastest way to get lots of runes. And then if you want to grind a little bit, then you would use the Infinity Towers here, and of course, you know, never skip a raid. Always do the raid bosses, guys, because right now I find raid coins to be one of the most valuable resources at the moment. Okay, I'm gonna pause this video for a moment, get a sip of water. I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Wow, this video is already 31 minutes, and I'm not done yet, guys. If you've stuck with this video up until this point, yeah, thank you. Thank you for taking your time out of your day to appreciate the content that I'm giving to you. Alright, so this next one, have your cardiologist ready. We are going to go over the cost of upgrading runes. Now, I probably finished this table maybe at like 12 a.m. at midnight, so I realize now actually the gold spent here is actually more than what I have here. Or it could be less too, depending on how many breakthroughs you do, or like how religiously you go through, basically how you farm your runes. Okay, that'll make a big difference. Alright, so I did a little bit of math, actually a lot of it, and as you can see I did a lot of calculations, but anyways, long story short, if you want to get a 1-star rune to 2 stars, you are going to consume a total of 7 runes. This should be 7, and this will take approximately 60k to 100k gold. Probably will take you about 3 days to farm all the rune fodder, assuming you're free to play. Probably a little faster on certain days, a little slower on other days, but I'm just giving like a conservative estimate. Now, to upgrade a 2-star rune to a 3-star rune, you're going to need to consume 8 2-star runes or 16 1-star runes. This will cost you between 120k to 180k gold in total, and this will take you about 1 to 2 weeks depending on how quickly you can do this. Now for me it takes me less than a week, but that's because I'm on this game a lot, so but I would expect the casual player to take up to 2 weeks to achieve this. Now, going from 3-star to 4-star, that'll require 5 3-star runes, or 10 2-star runes, or 20 1-star runes. Looking at about 400 to 550k, I would imagine. Takes about 2 to 3 weeks. And then 4-star to 5-star rune, 6 you would need to consume 6 4-star runes. Is that right? Actually, it might be more than that. You know, all of this might be wrong, but anyways, my point is that to go from 1 stars all the way to 5 stars, you're gonna burn through a lot of runes. And remember, you're just making 1 rune, so you have to really make it count, which I think is why this guide will be, extremely helpful for you. It'll save you a lot of time and headache, from realizing that you upgraded a rune that actually sucked, for instance. Alright, which brings me to my last point here, last topic for today. Are the rune packages worth it? Now, at the present time, there have been 2 packages released that, or actually, let me rephrase this. There are 2 noteworthy rune packages that have been released up until this point. There's the 5-star rune package, and there's the Dicer Evolution package number 2. Now, you can purchase 2 of each of these per month. I personally have bought 2 of these already, and I am most likely going to purchase 2 of these. Now, I can do that because I'm working. I work 7 days a week, 53 hours a week. So, for me, I'm creating new content that pertain to this game. Hold on, just making sure I'm still recording. Okay, good. So for me it's worth it, but I'm not getting it for the runes. Like, yes, the runes are very valuable, but I wouldn't spend, however much these packages cost just for the runes. You have to look at everything else. With the gems, I think the gems are reasonable based on the ratio of gems per dollar. At the moment, if you were to spend 100, you'd get about 11,000 gems. And so I would say, never buy from this. These packages here, they seem to be pretty competitive with, what they have here. But in addition, like, for me, my main incentive of getting this package, along with, seeing how good a 5-star rune is the rainbow shards. Now, medals are pretty easy to farm. If you check out some of my earlier videos, I do go over that, particularly the Master upgrade and selection guide video, which I highly recommend you check out. Very fun video that I recorded there. The rainbow shards are actually going to be your bottleneck here, because every day, assuming you don't join an active guild at all, you can get five rainbow shards from here, 5 rainbow shards from here, and if you have a lot of gold, you can also get another 5 here. So like in my case, I'm pretty much getting 10 rainbow shards a day, which equates to about, it would take me 30 days to accumulate this many rainbow shards. Now, since I'm in an active guild, and clearing some of the content in guilds gives you rainbow shards, but you only get like 7 to 10 rainbow shards. So really, like, getting 300 rainbow shards, assuming I didn't do any infinity tower or anything, or let's say hypothetically I exhausted all my infinity tower rainbow shard rewards, then it would take me anywhere between 15 to 30 days to acquire this, and these are pretty much the only way to upgrade your masters aside from consuming gems, which you should never do, by the way. So that was the big reason. So this is actually a very good package if you work. Yeah, if you work, and if you are, committed to this game and want to help this game sustain itself. I like to think that, for a game that I enjoy, such as this one right here, that I spend a lot of time with, I want to support the company, Kakao. So, yeah, I'm willing to pay a little bit to, enjoy some of the new content. Now, for this package here, I also think it's worth it because of the Fortify Bean. Guys, if you watched my Fortify Bean farming video, you would know that I failed to acquire the bean by like 9,000 points. And the reward was a 1-star bean, which apparently has, I think, like a 7 to 8% chance of fortifying your dicer. The 3-star fortifying bean, according to one of my YouTube friends, it has a 25% chance of fortifying your dicer. And you can, I think, consume up to 4 to 5 fortifying beans, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, I think it's 5. Let me see. Yeah, you can consume up to 5 of these beans. So, yeah, you could technically have like, 2 of these for like 50%, and then I think 2 of like the 2-star beans for like another like 30%, and then the remaining whatever fortifying bean for the last bit. You could have almost 100% chance of fortifying one of your dicers. Now, I think if I was to purchase this package, I would obviously this package is only worth it if your fortifying was actually successful. So I think what I would do if I was to purchase this package, I haven't yet, but I'm highly considering it, is to stockpile on these so that I have 100% chance of fortifying, let's say, like a Kitsune. I would say any future-proof dicer would be worth fortifying. And if you're not sure which dicer to fortify, you can check out my Nat 5 and Nat 4 dicer videos to determine if it's worth your while to fortify these. Yeah, so I would say this package is worth it. This package is even more worth it, I would say, because of this here. I almost want to say if there had been like 3 purchases per month, I'd probably get this over this, honestly. Just because there's other ways of fortifying your dicers with, yeah, with minimal resources. Alright, is that everything? I think that is everything, guys. So, if you've gotten this far in this video, which is about 40 minutes, my goodness, props to you for sticking around. Just before I close, I do want to do a 5-star summoning before I close. I just accumulated enough rainbow shards to acquire a random 5-star dicer. So let's see what I get, guys. If I get like a Kitsune or an Ophelia, that would be super awesome. I'm kind of nervous. Oh my goodness! This is exactly what I needed! Oh my goodness! I can replace my, my Thornet, and I got a Sonia before. Oh wow! Guys, like, words cannot describe how happy I am right now. We are going to lock this girl, and definitely, I'm actually going to take my time with her. Let's see here, if I go to the main, and if I go, yeah, if you go to your island, one of my my YouTube friends said that if you use this Rest EXP on your dicer, you have a small chance of upgrading it. So I think I'm just going to take my time with her, get her, what's it called? Get her fortified. Guys, I am so happy. Wow. She pretty much rounds out my team nicely because, okay, here, I'll show you my team right now. I'm sorry, this is totally off topic, but guys, up until this point, I was like, okay, I'm happy with Sickle, I'm happy with Laura, I'm happy with Loki, I'm happy with Ordina. Dana is okay, but, you know, she's a D6 dicer. But Thornet, she was kind of the odd one out. She didn't help me win dice battles, and she was a D4, so I couldn't even use her in a dice battle. But now that I've got two Sonias, I have one here that I was about to 6-star her, but now that I've gotten the other one, yeah, I'm gonna take my time with her. Where is she? Oh my goodness, guys, I am so happy right now. That fleshes out my team quite nicely. I think the cherry on top of it would just simply be getting a good dicer to replace Dana, and then and maybe Ordina as well, and I'll be pretty much all set. Wow, guys, what a way to end the day. I am so happy right now. Okay. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this content, do like and subscribe to my channel. And thank you for taking the time to check out my channel. Okay, I'm going to end this video, guys. Take care and have a great day. Bye-bye.